Britain in the 1990s believed it could build the future again. Money flowed into design studios, and manufacturers were determined to prove they belonged among the world's best. Showrooms buzzed with promises of premium engineering, motorsport glamour, and executive sophistication. Cars arrived wrapped in genuine excitement, backed by decades of heritage and bold new technology. Engineers believed. Marketing teams believed. Buyers queued up to believe, but belief and reality don't always travel the same road. Behind several of these launches sat compromise, rushed development, and boardroom decisions that would haunt entire companies for years. And the car at number 1 still shocks people today. Number 10. Rover 100. Our countdown begins with the Rover 100. Rover 100 was launched in 1995 as a facelift continuation of the aging Metro. On paper, Rover had a clear plan. Keep a proven, affordable city car alive while newer models took shape elsewhere in the range. Buyers expected a safe, familiar choice, powered by the same reliable K-series engines in 1.1 and 1.4-liter form. It looked tidy, practical, and sensibly priced for first-time drivers and young families right across Britain, from Glasgow to Cornwall. But this is where everything changed. In 1997, the Rover 100 underwent Euro NCAP crash testing, and the results were catastrophic. It scored just 1 star, among the worst results the program had ever recorded. Sales collapsed almost overnight as safety fears spread through dealerships nationwide. Production ended within months, a humiliating end for a car that had once symbolized affordable British motoring. A city car that failed not on the road, but in the one test that mattered most. Number 9. Rover 800. Rover 800 was a car meant to carry Rover into the executive class alongside BMW and Audi. Developed with Honda in the 1980s, its facelift 1990s versions arrived with sharper styling and a genuine sense of ambition. Rover positioned it as a British alternative to German luxury, offering smooth 6-cylinder power alongside 4-cylinder options for company car buyers. Expectations were high. This was supposed to be the car that proved Britain could still build a proper executive saloon. Unfortunately, perception told a different story. Despite genuine engineering improvements, the 800 struggled to shake off a reputation for inconsistent build quality from its earlier years. Fleet buyers, the lifeblood of the executive segment, increasingly looked toward German rivals seen as more dependable and more prestigious. Sales never matched the ambition behind the project, and by the mid-1990s the 800 felt like yesterday's answer to tomorrow's question. Would you have trusted it over a contemporary BMW? Many buyers simply couldn't. But the next car made this look like a minor mistake. Number 8. Lotus Elan M100. The Lotus Elan M100, launched in 1989 and sold into the early 1990s, arrived with an enormous weight of expectation. It revived a beloved name, wrapped in sleek new bodywork, promising the sharp handling Lotus was famous for. Enthusiasts expected rear-wheel drive purity and razor-edge cornering. Instead, Lotus fitted a turbocharged Isuzu engine and, controversially, front-wheel drive, a decision that divided the entire sports car community before a single review was published. This sounded brilliant on paper. The chassis was genuinely excellent, praised by journalists for its composure and grip. Reality told a different story financially. Lotus was owned by General Motors during a period of corporate turmoil, production costs spiraled, and the car arrived priced uncomfortably close to more established rivals. Sales volumes never justified the investment, and production ended in 1992. Was it the car or the timing that killed it? Perhaps both shared the blame equally. The car at number 7 brings genuine nostalgia colliding head-on with genuine disappointment. Number 7. MG RV8. The MG RV8, launched in 1992, revived the classic MGB body for a new generation, powered by a modernized 3.9-liter Rover V8 engine. For longtime MG fans, this felt like a dream fulfilled. Here was a British roadster returning to its roots, wrapped in flared wheel arches and leather-trimmed nostalgia. Rover marketed it as a celebration piece, a bridge between MG's heritage and its uncertain future. But the problems had only just begun. Underneath the modern engine sat genuinely old MGB underpinnings, meaning handling and refinement felt distinctly dated compared to contemporary sports cars from Japan and Germany. Critics questioned whether buyers were paying premium prices for genuinely decades-old foundations underneath. Most RV8s were actually exported to Japan rather than sold domestically, undermining its status as a proud British comeback story. A car built on love for the past, yet strangely disconnected from the present it was launched into. And things only get worse from here. Number 6. Land Rover Freelander. The Land Rover Freelander, launched in 1997, was meant to open an entirely new market for the brand. Compact, car-like, and genuinely innovative, it targeted buyers who wanted rugged image without traditional off-road bulk. Land Rover expected huge success, and initially, they got it. The Freelander became Europe's best-selling compact SUV within its first years, praised for clever engineering and everyday usability traditional Land Rovers simply couldn't offer. Soft-roading had finally arrived for Britain's middle classes. But this is where expectations collapsed. Owners increasingly reported electrical faults, head gasket failures, and inconsistent build quality that damaged Land Rover's hard-earned reputation for durability. For a brand built entirely on toughness and dependability, these failures felt like a betrayal of everything the badge represented. Warranty claims mounted, resale values suffered, and enthusiasts openly questioned whether commercial ambition had compromised engineering integrity. Was this success achieved at Land Rover's own long-term expense? Many owners believed exactly that. Don't miss number 5, because this one still divides opinion even now. Number 5. TVR Cerbera. The TVR Cerbera, launched in 1996, was Blackpool's boldest statement yet. A striking coupe powered by TVR's newly developed Speed 6 and Speed 8 engines, built entirely in-house. Enthusiasts were thrilled. Here was a genuinely independent British sports car maker producing engines nobody else could offer. Performance figures were sensational, and the styling looked unlike anything else on British roads. This sounded brilliant on paper. Unfortunately, developing engines from scratch brought serious early reliability concerns, with some owners reporting overheating issues and mechanical faults during the car's first production years. TVR's famously minimalist approach meant no airbags, no traction control, and far more limited dealer support compared to established mainstream manufacturers. For a car demanding real skill and real trust from its owner, that combination proved genuinely demanding. Was it too raw for its era, or simply ahead of safety expectations? The debate still continues among enthusiasts today. The biggest disappointment is still waiting, but number 4 deserves its place. Number 4. Rover 600. The Rover 600, launched in 1993, was built on the same platform as the Honda Accord, combining Japanese engineering discipline with British styling and interior craftsmanship. Rover marketed it as sophisticated, refined, and genuinely competitive against the Ford Mondeo and Vauxhall Vectra in the crucial mid-size executive segment. Reviewers praised its smooth ride, comfortable cabin, and dependable Honda-derived mechanicals underneath. Buyers seemed genuinely interested. Reality told a different story commercially. Despite strong engineering foundations, the 600 struggled against fierce competition from newer, more modern-looking rivals with sharper pricing and stronger dealer networks. Rover's declining brand image, tangled up in ongoing corporate uncertainty, made buyers hesitant regardless of the car's actual quality underneath the badge. Production ended in 1999 without ever achieving the sales volumes its genuine competence deserved. A genuinely good car, quietly buried beneath a company's growing reputation problems. Was the car ever really the issue here? Number 3. Jaguar XJ220. The Jaguar XJ220, unveiled as a concept in 1988 and finally produced between 1992 and 1994, promised to be the fastest production car in the world. Wealthy enthusiasts placed enormous deposits based on the concept specification, including a V12 engine and full four-wheel drive. Expectations soared to extraordinary heights. This was Jaguar's chance to claim supercar supremacy on the global stage. Unfortunately, by the time production began, the specification had changed dramatically. Jaguar switched to a twin-turbocharged V6 and rear-wheel drive only, decisions made for cost and emissions reasons that many depositors felt betrayed them entirely. Then the early 1990s recession hit, and used supercar values collapsed just as buyers were asked to complete their purchases. Lawsuits followed. Reputational damage followed. Despite genuinely breathtaking performance capable of exceeding 210 miles per hour, the XJ220 became remembered more for controversy than for its remarkable engineering achievement. Could Jaguar have handled it any differently? The car at number 2 might be the most heartbreaking entry yet. Number 2, MGF. The MGF, launched in 1995, was meant to single-handedly resurrect MG as a genuine sports car brand for a new generation. It featured a mid-engine layout, sharp styling, and Rover's own K-Series engine, offering genuine driving enjoyment at an accessible price point. Enthusiasts were overjoyed. Finally, MG had a proper roadster again, one that could compete directly with Mazda's popular MX-5 on both handling and character. Early reviews were largely positive, praising its agility. This sounded brilliant on paper. Unfortunately, the K-Series engine developed a reputation for head gasket failures, caused by design flaws in its cooling system that Rover took years to address. Owners faced expensive repairs, and word spread through enthusiast circles and specialist magazines. What should have been a triumphant comeback became associated with mechanical anxiety instead. Could better quality control have changed MG's entire trajectory afterward? We'll never truly know for certain. Number 1, Rover 75. The Rover 75, launched in 1999, was meant to be Rover's grand rebirth. Elegant, retro-inspired styling met modern engineering, with smooth petrol and diesel engines and a beautifully crafted interior that critics praised as some of Rover's finest work in decades. This was the car built to prove Rover deserved survival, aimed at buyers who loved traditional motoring. Anticipation across the industry was enormous, and early reviews were glowing. But the problems had only just begun, and not with the car itself. On the same day the Rover 75 launched at the Birmingham Motor Show, BMW chairman Bernd Pischeider used a press conference to criticize government funding, casting doubt on Rover's future. Consumer confidence collapsed, regardless of quality. Sales never reached potential, production later shifted to MG Rover, and the company collapsed by 2005. A genuinely excellent car, remembered as the beginning of the end, not a triumphant new beginning. And there you have it, 10 British cars from the 1990s that carried genuine promise, only to stumble under bad timing, corporate turmoil, or their own unresolved flaws. Some were brilliant machines wrecked entirely by circumstance. Others simply couldn't match the ambition behind their own launch events. Would any of these have actually succeeded in a kinder, calmer decade? If you're passionate about classic British motoring history, you're in the right place, so consider subscribing to Britain Rewind for more journeys like this one. Which car on this list surprised you most? Tell us below, and we'll see you in the next amazing video.